Hello everyone and welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel and happy new year. I hope this year has already started out well for you, even if it's been only a few days in, and I also hope that the year overall just is amazing for every single one of you. I'm really excited to see where it takes me, as fucking cheesy as that sounds, and as well as that, I am really excited to see where it takes K-pop this year. So to start out this year for me with my video, I decided to finally make a Twice-centric video. It has been so long. I made one a very long time ago and it was really bad, so I deleted it like 2 hours after I posted it. Never thinking about her again. So I guess for like a redemption kind of video, because that one was so bad to me, I decided to make another one of those who owned each era type videos, since I love making them and I love Twice. So, of course, please know that these are all just my opinions and you can definitely disagree with them. Feel free to do so, and feel free to tell me who you think owned each of these eras in the comments. So, with that out of the way, here is the video. Now, let me be honest, this was probably the hardest decision out of any one of these eras. I really could have saw going for any member. I went back and forth between every single one of them at one point. Like, I think I changed this like answer 9 times. But in the end, I really do think that Momo just stood out the most for me in like ooh-ah. I thought that she sounded really great for just debuting. I really thought that she sounded great on all of the songs, especially like ooh-ah. I really enjoyed her vocals, and as I'm sure we all can agree, she was just such an amazing dancer for a rookie. She really seemed like she could have been a senior dancing-wise, and that just really stood out for me. And oh my gosh, one of the best parts from like ooh-ah in general was the dance break that Momo did during the bridge. It gets me every time. Every time I watch the live stages of it, every time I watch a Momo fan cam from like ooh-ah, I cannot ever stop thinking about that dance break. I really hope we get to see more of these in the future. Momo deserves a little dance break in any song ever. Also, I just want to add a little side note. I was such a big fan of Blonde Momo. We did not deserve her. Miss Meena really went off during this comeback. Her vocals, her visuals, her dancing, oh my god, Meena did not have to go off that hard. She did it for us anyways, and I love her for that. Recently, Cheer Up has been at the top of like my favorite Twice title tracks, and I've been going back to watch all of the lives of it. I've been listening to it on repeat constantly. I go back and I just watch individual fan cams of it all the time. The music video, overall, what I'm trying to say, I listen to it a lot, and man, Meena showed up. I feel like every time I watch any of the lives too, I can really see how happy Meena looks through the entire song. She seemed to really love it and vibe with it a lot. As well as that, I do think that Meena does great with cute concepts like this one. I don't think we talk about it nearly as enough as we should, that cute concept Meena comes for blood. And I do think that she just stood out so much. Overall, Cheer Up Meena stole my heart, and I love her. Yeah, who's gonna even try to argue with me on this one? Nyan owned TT, and I think that most people can agree on this. It seriously felt like this song was written for her. It was like this was written with Nyan in mind, and it would not surprise me if it was. I also enjoy the part at the very beginning of the dance when they all move out of the way and reveal her. I just thought that it was adorable, and it really puts a focus on Nyan even more. As well as that, her vocals sounded so amazing to me. Not that they didn't before, because as I'm sure we all are aware, she is such a talented vocalist in like ooh-ah and Cheer Up, as well as all the B-sides. She sounded so great on every single one of those. But for me, I think that this song just showed off her vocals exceptionally well, and she stood out so much for me in that range alone. Not to mention that I think that Nyan in the music video also stole the show for me. While every single one, of course, looked so cute, the music video in general is just such a cute video. I do think that Nyan just really showed up for me. Overall, what I am trying to say is that every single member, of course, was show-stopping as usual, as every single member of Twice is, but Nyan really just went above and beyond for me during this comeback. Oh yeah, Knock Knock Junghyun was a gift sent from God herself. I think every time I go back to listen to this song or watch the music video or lives, like I keep saying, I always go back to focusing on her as well as watching her individual fan cams. I know I keep saying that, and I know I keep saying this as well, but her voice really stuck out a lot to me and sounded extremely beautiful. Of course, in the past songs, Junghyun's voice was prevailing, she was thriving, she was doing amazing, but in Knock Knock, I really just noticed her so much, and that was also attributed to like her little space buns that she had on some of the stages. Like, oh my god, that was so cute. I really want her to do her hair like that again. I loved it. She just looked so adorable. I miss it. I miss Space Buns Junghyun, and this was honestly like one of my favorite eras for her hair, if not the best. She also seemed extremely into this era. Her stage presence was out of this world, and man, I just loved Knock Knock Junghyun. Signal, the song that really got me into Twice. Now for me, I think that Momo and Chaeyoung really owned this era. Momo for starting off with her, I think this song was made for her. Much like how TT was made for Nyan, this song was made for Momo, with Momo in mind. She was finally getting the lines that she deserved. She also sounded amazing in all of those lines, as well as her rap verses. And overall, I noticed her a lot during the entire comeback. Momo never fails to amaze me with her stage presence, with how much she's always smiling and looking like she's enjoying being on stage, and it just showed up so much for me during Signal. Now with Che, I think that she also owned this era for a very similar reason. I think that she sounded amazing as always. Her stage presence was extremely captivating, and I could almost never take my eyes away from her. And oh my god, her haircut? Chaeyoung's haircut? She looked so adorable. Short-haired Chaeyoung is such a weakness for me. Every time I see a picture of her coming up on my Instagram feed or on Twitter or wherever I am and I just see short-haired Chaeyoung, I cry. She just looks so cute, and it just, oh my gosh. Ah! I also know that she did not have too many lines in Someone Like Me, their B-side, but it was one of the first times that I ever heard her singing, like her singing voice, as it was the like very first album I really got into of theirs, and man, it just made me a whole Chaeyoung stan for a hot minute. Sana owned this era for me so much. Like always, Sana looked cute as ever, and this era, to me, brought out the Sana cuteness even more than usual, if humanly possible. She just seemed to get so much cuter in this era, and I loved it to death. As you all know, I am a fat Sana stan, and seeing Sana and Likey really just threw me for a loop, gave me whiplash. I became a Sana stan because of this song, obviously. So I also really loved Center Sana during the chorus and how happy she looked during all of the stages as well. Her overall presence went off during this era, and I do keep repeating this. I know I do. It's just kind of like a common thought through all of these. It was really hard to take my eyes off of her. She looked so adorable, as I also keep repeating, but she really just made this era her bitch. And adding on to that, while I loved the overall styling for this era, as in like I loved everyone's outfits and everything, I think Sana's cute outfits stood out the most for me. I loved her simple pink skirt and yellow shirt in the MV, as well as her plaid stage dress. All in all, we did not deserve Likey's Sana. Okay, this may come as a shock to some of y'all, I really don't know. But yes, I do think that every single member of Twice owned this era. I feel like there wasn't one member who outshined everyone, and each of them had a part of the song that they really made their own. I loved Che and Dayeon's rap verses. The entire vocal line went off per usual, as they always do, and I think the dance may also be one of my favorites if there's not gonna lie. Not to mention the iconic Is Sana Gay part. I think we all love and cherish that part in Heart Shaker. Oh yeah, also, yeah, if you watch my channel, you'll know that I've said before that I love more casual looking stage outfits. For example, the ones in OO by CLC. So the cute and simple white shirts and jeans just showed each member off super well to me. It wasn't too flashy and it felt comfortable, and the girls also seemed to feel very comfortable on stage. So yeah, all of these attributes did work together to show me that each member of Twice owned this era. Once again, Sana just stole my heart during the What Is Love era, and no one, I mean not one single person out there, is doing it like What Is Love Sana did. Everything about Sana in this era is just, oh my gosh. To begin, let's discuss Sana in the music video. I loved her paying homage to Uma Thurman. I thought she looked so cute. Of course, I loved everybody paying homage to different movies, but just the Sana as Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction just really went off to me. Moreover, the overall styling for her during the live stages, as well as some of the parts in the music video, were just absolutely perfect for her. I loved the purple dress she wore a lot, as well as the exquisite dresses each of the members wore. The light pink one that she wore specifically really popped on her, and I thought it was adorable. I just thought that overall, Sana prospered so much during What Is Love era. Let's dance the night away. Let's dance the night away. So the member that I think owned the Dance the Night Away era is Chaeyoung. While this may come as a shock to some of y'all as well, because she was really done so dirty with the line distribution, I think she had a total of 5 seconds of lines, which, stinky. I do think that she overall did own this era. She stood out to me a lot during the live stages. Her dancing seemed to have improved from the other eras, if humanly possible, because we all know Miss Chaeyoung is a dancing machine and she's amazing. And also just seeing her as the center during the chorus was so refreshing. I would die for center Chaeyoung. Can I also mention that Chaeyoung's rap on Shot Through the Heart owns my ass to this day, and I would full on D-word for it. And to top this all off, to top Dance the Night Away era off as a whole, orange-haired Chae came for blood. This was honestly one of my favorite looks on her. Also, that and her short hair, both of those just really own my ass. And if I'm honest, the orange hair may have had some big influence over who I thought owned this era, not even gonna lie. Overall, though, I do think center Chaeyoung, her rap on Shot Through the Heart, her orange hair, how smiley and happy she seemed overall, I just think it really attributed to her owning the era for me. It is so hard for me to listen to Yes or Yes, watch any of the stages, watch the music video without my focus being on Miss Chewy. I think that Yes or Yes Chewy was one of the brightest and most entertaining that I have ever seen her. Of course, Chewy, like always, incredibly entertaining. She's so fun to see on stage. She is an amazing performer, but to me, everything about her during Yes or Yes just really went off to me. She seemed to really enjoy herself on stage. Her dancing really popped off. Her vocals were outstanding as usual, and I just love Yes or Yes Chewy. Also, can I just mention, this is something that we literally never talk about, is Chewy's vocals. I feel like people do not appreciate them as much as we should. I think she has such a beautiful and amazing voice. It's incredibly underrated in my opinion, and I really do love it. I know some of y'all like to slander her voice, but I love it. I love listening to Chewy. I would listen to a whole Chewy album if I could. Anyways, back to Yes or Yes Chewy. I also feel like that her in the music video was super outstanding to me, and I think that I will never get over those pants. Like, y'all know the ones I'm talking about, those iconic pants that she was wearing. They went off, just like everything else that she did during this era. She really just hit me like never before. This was probably like the second hardest decision I had to make on this list. Like this and like Ua, I don't even know why these two were so hard for me to decide, but they were. But in the end, I do think that Jihyo owned the Fansa era the most for me. And I did have a lot of reasons behind it. For one, I want to mention Jihyo's vocals. Like usual, main vocal Jihyo showed the fuck up. But to me, during this era, Fancy, all of the side tracks stuck in my head as well, like very prominently. Her vocals seemed a lot more intense and hard hitting, while of course every other era, Jiho's vocals really, they're just so nice to listen to. I love Jiho's vocals. They're so amazing. But during Fancy, I really did notice them more than anyone else's. She just really showed it up for me. And another thing I want to discuss is that her dancing and overall confidence on stage really just, it was so great to watch. She seemed to be so confident in her dancing as well as her vocals. And oh my gosh, I am really at a loss for words. I keep repeating the exact same thoughts because I just don't even know how to like process my thoughts about Jiho into words. Not even to mention how iconic that one Fancy fan cam of hers is. Y'all know the one that I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I am like all over the place with this. My bad. But overall, Jiho's vocals, dancing, stage presence, overall Jiho-ness was on point, and she deserves the title of the owner of the Fancy era. You make everything alright. I feel like for me, this was probably the most obvious choice on this list. Daeyeon owned the Feel Special era, and there was no question about it. If I'm also being honest, Daeyeon did kind of inspire me to make this video because I needed to talk about how much I loved Feel Special Daeyeon. Whew. Okay, so to begin, this was definitely my favorite of her raps on any title track, B-sides, period. I just think it was so iconic. Everything about it went hard. I love the dance that she did. She was like in the center. She just looked so intense. You know what I'm talking about? Like her intense face that she made. If that makes any sense, I apologize. I'm rambling again. Okay. Also, I do think that her stage presence was probably the best that I've ever seen it. Like I talked about with Jiho a second ago with her confidence, Daeyeon also just seemed incredibly confident on stage, which caused her to be so captivating, and I could not take my eyes off of her. Her and her blonde hair and that blue stage outfit that really made her look like Elsa from Frozen, I could not stop staring at her. She was so pretty. Oh my gosh. Can I also just like talk about the part in the music video where they were all smiling and we got to see Daeyeon's cute little smile? Oh my gosh. Can we just little moment of silence for her smile? Perfect. I love her. Okay, sorry. That was really fucking weird. That was Ooh. Anyways, to end it all off, I just want to say Feel Special Daeyeon owns my ass. I might be becoming a Daeyeon stan. Watch out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you somehow made it to the end, I apologize so much for all of my rambling. I have never made a video about Twice. I needed to get all this feelings about them that I have off of my chest and how much I love and adore every single member. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and feel free to comment who you think owned each of these eras, as I would love to see y'all's opinions. And don't forget to keep streaming Thumbs Up by Momoland. Yeehaw!